Hello, and thank you for stopping by at my channel, Shave in Solitude. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a comparison video between the three Henson AL13 razors. Now, as you guys might know, Henson comes out with three separate flavors of this razor, right? Starting off with the Henson AL13, this one that I'm showing you, this is the mildest version, which they call as the plus plate. Then I have the second version as well, which they call as the medium plate, and this is the plus plus. And then the topmost is the plus 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 plate, which is this one. Now, the reason that I thought I'll go ahead and I'll create this video is I completely get it that, shaving may not be a hobby for all. It might be a means to an end. That means you need to get a razor and you need to figure out what is that razor to get. Not all the people who are crazy, like some of my friends in this hobby, have multiple razors, multiple soaps. They don't need it. They really don't. And quite frankly speaking, you don't as well. So let's say you're in the market and you've seen these thousands of ads that are put out, and Henson definitely goes ahead and puts out lots of its ads. Its ads are great. They go ahead and they talk about their main feature, that the angle is already built in, so you don't need to do anything about the angle. All you need to do is the pressure, which I think is great, because angle is one of the key things that we learn as we get into this particular hobby. So with their razors, because the angle is already built in, you just need to put this on the side of your face and you can go in and you can shave. And the only thing that you need to worry about is how much are you pressing in or not. So given that you might have seen their ads and you might be thinking of picking it up, now if you go to their website, the mild and the medium are what you generally see. But then when you start going down the rabbit hole, the plus 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 plate is also something that you have gone ahead and you've heard about. And guys, I mean, the way that I see it, right? To each one of us, we all feel that our beard is the hardest, the strongest. I need the sharpest of blade because my beard will require a lot of work. That is what we all like to think. But the hair growth for every person differs. The hair thickness for every person differs. No matter what is it that we go ahead and we think about it, right? So my purpose of this video is to, share with you guys based on my growth. And my growth is what I'd like to think of mixture. The hair on the sides of my face, the cheeks, I think they're very, very typical. They're not very soft, they're not very hard, they're just normal. When it comes to this area of my face, this area is typically a lot more denser for me. And the reason that I'm saying that is, let's say I use a razor and a blade and it's able to get through this hair in probably one or two passes. For this area, I need multiple. That means, obviously you have the shape of the face, but I think the hair for me is a little harder over here as well. And so is the hair on my neck. So I thought, given that I own these three razors, let me go ahead and create something for the people who are wanting to get into this to see what might work for them. So for the past 1 week, what I've done is I loaded up fresh blades in all these three. And then I started shaving. On the mild one, I shaved this for 2 days. On the medium one, I went ahead and I shaved this for 2 days. And on the plus 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 one, I've shaved it for 1 day, and today is going to be the second day. And so these are what I think my findings are. I'm hoping that you might be able to gain something from it. So first and foremost, what I want to go ahead and talk about is, now these are the blades which come with it. RK blades are what they're called. When you go on the web, Reddit and all that, there are a lot of people who might say, oh, these blades are not great, use a feather, use a nasset, use XYZ. From my use, what I have noticed is these blades work extremely well with these razors. So the fact that they come pre-packaged, I don't think you need to buy any other blade to try it out. Again, if you have different blades and you want to, yes, you can. But I'm not saying that you have to. What I am saying is these blades are actually quite decent, very, very nice for the job, which is shaving. Now, moving on to who I think which particular razor is for. So let's go ahead and start with the mild one, right? Now, if you are getting into the hobby of wet shaving, or forget about the hobby, the fact that you need to shave because you need to get to work, you need to shave kind of a thing, right? And you have never shaved before, or you've just used systems like Mac 3 and stuff like that. For you to get into the entire system of shaving with a dual edge safety razor like this, I think the mild is good for people who are just going ahead and starting off. Now, the reason that I'm saying that is it can still take off a couple of days of growth easily. But given the minimal blade cap that this one has, and by the way, talking of blade caps, I'll take 5 seconds and I'll put up the blade cap for each one of these three in the next few seconds. Okay, so now that you've seen that, given the minimal blade cap that this has, even if your pressure is not on point, you're not going to hurt yourself. That is why, for me, this razor is perfect for somebody who's going ahead and who's just starting off. You will still be able to get a BBS or baby butt smooth shape with this. Might require a little bit more work if certain areas of your face have a little bit tougher hair to cut. But at least when I started off in this particular journey, this was one of the first razors that I picked up. I've rarely, if ever, gotten any kind of a small nick or weeper or what have you. So the mild one is a perfect razor for people who are starting off, or people who have or who are blessed with probably not very hard hair to shave in the very first place. You're probably just starting off, maybe you're 16, 17, 18, your facial hair is still quite soft. I think this is a good razor for you to go ahead and start off with. Because as you guys know, the more you shave, the more you cut the hair every day, the harder it gets over a period of years. Now, if you have been shaving for any time whatsoever, you know the technique, you know pressure somewhat decently well. So I would say for those people, for most of those people, the medium razor is what I would recommend. It's got a slightly larger blade gap than the mild one, and I think that definitely helps in getting a good shave. Obviously, what you need to keep in mind is that the amount of pressure that you will use with the medium one is going to be lesser, slightly lesser compared to the mild one. So if you're not a person who's just starting off this journey, so I would say for at least 7 or 8 out of 10 people, if you were to buy one Henson razor, my suggestion would be to go for the medium one. I think it'll keep you really, really happy. And then comes the last set of people who probably shave once every few days rather than daily shaving. Just keep in mind, guys, I am a daily shaver. I need to go into work. My wife was cracking a joke a couple of days back. So I recently had to start to go back to work. We were working remote for the past 5+ years, and work was getting done very well. But then the office went ahead and said, no, we need all the people to get back to work. So it's during that time that I went ahead and I launched my channel, Shave in Solitude. That means you are at peace. These days, shaving in solitude is the last thing on my mind. Because you get up in the morning, you're rushing, I already start getting on calls from around 7 o'clock in the morning. Then in the middle of it, quickly do a shave because then you need to get ready and go to work and all that kind of stuff. So the solitude part of it is gone. So if you are somebody who does still have the liberty to go ahead and shave in solitude, that is what I was trying to say. You should look at picking up the plus 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 plate. Okay. Um, Now the reason that I'm saying taking some time is because this one has a little bit of a bite, little bit. Again, not too much. If you're somebody who has been shaving for a while, you knows pressure and stuff like that, awesome. Because you will need that knowledge on this one. So when I had picked this up for the very first time, I actually did the mistake of picking up all these razors very quickly. So I had picked up the mild, and I picked up the medium within a month, and I picked up the plus 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 within 2 weeks or 3 weeks post that. The mistake that I made was I was still learning. I was still not good enough when it comes to pressure and stuff like that. And I had a little bit of a rough shave with the medium one, and with the plus 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 one, I had a rougher shave. And I hated it because I didn't know what I was doing. And that can happen. So, again, take your time. Once you know your pressure decently well, only then at that point of time should I say, go pick up the medium one or pick up this one. So that is what I feel who these razors are for. Again, excellent razors, machined quite well. Tolerances are really really tight, and I think for $69, which I think the price still is, I think it's a good razor. It will last you for a long long time. So that's about it regarding the video in terms of who I think should buy what. I hope it helped you. I am going to do a shave right now with the plus 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 plate. If you guys have the time and you'd like to stick around and probably do a shave at the same time, so we could go ahead and have a joint shave. I would love that. If you want to go ahead and stick around. So for the purposes of the shave today, I'm going to be using ANE watermelon. I think it's called as Kachaka. So I've already gone ahead and I've already lathered up the soap, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my face, and I'm going to get into the shave. I've got 1 day of growth. Might not look too much on the video, but trust me, the hair is there. So let's get into the shave. And again, guys, if all you had was time to see the first part of the video, thank you so much for your support. We just hit 50 subscribers. Yay! No, I'm very, very, very pleased. I didn't know when I went ahead and I started this off a few months back that we would get many subs. But I hope these videos help you. So that's about it. Let's get into the shave. I'm going to wet my face. I'm going to lather up, and we'll be back to start the shave. All right, guys. Let's start with the pass number 1 with the grain. All right, we did the very first pass. Let's wash up and get started on the second pass. All right, guys, let's do pass number 2, across the grain. Pretty decent. Under the neck. All right, let's wash up and do pass number 3. All right, guys, let's do pass number 3, against the grain. So with the Henson AL13, I've noticed this pass, it is in my neck area. I need to apply a little bit more pressure, or else the angle is set in such a way. And each of us, our faces are designed in different ways, right? So I feel, at least with the built-in angle that it has, it's not able to get my hair properly. So I tend to use a little bit more pressure on my neck in order to remove the hair on the third pass. I should probably learn how to do this side with my less dominant hand so that you guys can see it. But so used to shaving with my right hand makes it a little difficult. But let me try. Okay, now to the trickiest parts of my face. This seems to have dried off a little bit. Don't know whether you guys can see all the hair. A little bit of a vapor, nothing big. Okay, let's wash up and let's see how's it that we've done. Alright guys, we washed up. A little bit still there. We took care of this one, a little bit still here. Slight bits here. A little bit there. Okay, let's do a touch-up pass. Alright, let's do the touch-up pass. All right, guys, we're done. Let's wash up and put the alum and see how the shave went. All right, let's put the alum. Yeah, a little bit of a sting in this area. Manageable still. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all, guys. Let the alum sit for 30 seconds and then wash it off. So we'll do that and we'll come back with a splash. So we're back. Let's shake your aftershave splash. Always do that because these days many of the people, they put a lot of very good things, skin food and stuff like that. But then it settles in layers when the bottle is just sitting on your shelf. So before you use it, make sure that you're able to shake it up so that everything gets mixed well. And you don't need too much, just a few drops. That's it. Use less at one time, and if you feel it became too less and you need to put more, you can always go back and add. My whole thing is don't waste product, right? And that's the same reason for me. It might work for you, but it's the same reason why I don't like to put a wet brush in a tub of soap. What if it goes bad? I don't want to find out that later on. That, oh, you know what? Water went in, there was mold, there was stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway. So, yeah. So overall, guys, very, very nice shave, as you guys saw. So let me share my final thoughts about these three razors and just again recap what I had shared at the start of the video. Alright guys, for the final recap of my thoughts on the Henson AL13. So which razor is a good fit for which kind of person? So again, I will stick to my thoughts. The Henson AL13 Mild is great for people who are just starting off, or people who have thin or sparse hair, because this is extremely mild and it'll do a great job cutting your hair. So this is for those people. For most people, 8 out of 10 people, once you have learned a little bit about pressure, once you have figured out how is it that you are supposed to shave, it makes perfect sense to move into something directly like the medium plate. So by this time, I would suggest that you pick up a razor where you're able to figure out things like what's the pressure, angle, and stuff like that. And then when you move to this, you'll just quickly get through your shaves on a daily basis. This is excellent even if you are a daily shaver. And finally, to the granddaddy of all, the plus 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 plate. This I think is for people of two types. Number one, if you shave once every few days, given the largest blade gap that this has, you will be able to take off the hair a lot more faster. That's one. Or you like a razor with a little bit more blade feel, this would be a great razor for you. I have daily driven this razor as well, and you can shave with it daily. It is good enough to quickly get through the hair, but it is still mild. It's not going to leave you with a lot of razor burn. So I hope this video helped, guys, and I hope that you guys have a great week ahead, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Have a great day.